Hello and welcome to Book Club on the Go, the podcast where we explore one book at a time. Today I'm excited to talk about a classic novel, The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. As I delve into this book, I feel like I've been transported back in time to the roaring 20s. The glamour, the excess, and the decadence of the era come to life on the pages. The book tells the story of J. Gatsby, a wealthy man who throws extravagant parties in the hopes of winning back his lost love, Daisy Buchanan. But as the story unfolds, we discover that Gatsby's past is shrouded in mystery and that the glittering world of the wealthy is not as perfect as it seems. One of the things that makes The Great Gatsby such a timeless classic is the way Fitzgerald uses metaphors and symbols to explore deeper themes. For example, the green light across the bay that Gatsby stares at every night can be seen as a symbol of hope and longing, while the lavish parties can be seen as a metaphor for the emptiness and excess of the era. But what I find particularly interesting about this book is the way Fitzgerald critiques the American dream. In The Great Gatsby, the characters are all searching for something, whether it's love, wealth, or simply a place in society. But in the end, they discover that the things they thought would bring them happiness only bring them disappointment and disillusionment. As I reflect on the book, I can't help but ask myself, what is the American dream? Is it still alive today? And if so, what does it mean in the modern world? Another aspect of the book that I find fascinating is the way Fitzgerald portrays the characters. They are complex, flawed individuals, each with their own motivations and desires. And despite their wealth and social status, they are all searching for something that they cannot seem to find. One of the key themes in The Great Gatsby is the corruption of the American dream. In the book, we see how the characters, despite their wealth and success, are all unhappy and unfulfilled. Gatsby, who is the epitome of the American dream, is a prime example of this. Despite his wealth and success, he is unable to win back the love of Daisy, and ultimately, his pursuit of the American dream leads to his downfall. Another important theme in the book is the issue of social class. Throughout the story, we see how the characters are divided by their social status and how this affects their relationships and interactions with each other. For example, Gatsby, who comes from humble beginnings, is unable to fully fit in with the wealthy elite, and this creates tension and conflict throughout the story. It's also worth mentioning the character of Nick Carraway, the narrator of the story. Nick is an interesting character because he is both an observer and a participant in the events of the story. As a newcomer to the wealthy world of the East Coast, he is able to provide an outsider's perspective on the decadence and excess of the era. But at the same time, he is drawn into the world of Gatsby and the other characters, and this allows him to offer a more personal and intimate perspective on the events of the story. Finally, I want to talk about the writing style of Scott Fitzgerald. The author's use of language is simply stunning. He uses vivid descriptions, flowing sentences, and intricate metaphors to bring the story to life. It's as if he's painting a picture with words, and the reader can almost see the parties, the glittering lights, and the decadent lifestyles of the characters. In conclusion, The Great Gatsby is a complex and multi-layered novel that explores themes of love, wealth, social class, and the corruption of the American dream. Through its rich language and well-crafted characters, Fitzgerald creates a vivid picture of the era and the people who lived in it. And even after all these years, the book remains a classic and continues to captivate readers with its timeless themes and memorable characters. So, what do you think? Have you read The Great Gatsby? If so, what did you think of it? And if not, are you planning on reading it soon? We hope you enjoyed our discussion. Remember, this podcast is all about exploring one book at a time. If you want to dive deeper and better understand the book, we recommend picking up a copy and reading it yourself. Make sure to tune in next week when we discuss another book. Don't forget to subscribe and review our podcast to help us reach more book lovers like you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, stay curious.